Story 1. The False Neighbor, Todd. A few years ago, I moved to a small, quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of a city. I didn't know anyone and mostly kept to myself until a man named Todd, a tall, older guy with a patchy beard, came by to welcome me. He seemed friendly enough, mentioning his wife Sarah and how much he enjoyed the peaceful area. A few days later, he invited me to a dinner party with other neighbors at his house. Though I hadn't seen anyone else around, I accepted, figuring it was my chance to meet people. That night, however, his house was dark, empty, and strangely unsettling. Inside, there was no food, no people, and no sign of his wife or neighbors. Suddenly, the front door slammed shut and locked behind me. As I rushed to escape, Todd's voice grew deeper and more threatening as he approached. I managed to unlock the door and flee to my own home, calling the police. They later revealed Todd never had a wife and never planned any gathering. He'd lied about everything. Though nothing could legally be done, I knew his intentions weren't innocent. I moved away soon after, but I still occasionally check his name, hoping one day he gets caught before he can lure someone else into his home. Story 2. The Stalker Neighbor. I lived in a normal neighborhood where families had been around for decades, and I inherited my parents' house. One fall, a new man moved across the street. At first, he seemed ordinary, but soon I noticed him lingering outside my house and staring from his upstairs window. At night, I caught him standing at the end of my driveway, pretending to stroll away when I confronted him. The uneasy feeling grew stronger until one night, I woke up in a cold sweat, certain I wasn't alone. When I listened at my bedroom door, I heard faint creaks in the hallway. Then, through the gap at the bottom, I saw the shadow of boots, and horrifyingly, an eye peering back at me from the floor. Terrified, I called 911 as he moved around outside the room. By the time police arrived, he was gone, but my suspicions were right. They questioned him and discovered he had been stalking me for weeks, even before moving into the neighborhood, and had searched my name online multiple times. He admitted to breaking in, and his past included similar stalking cases. Thankfully, he was arrested, but the thought of his intentions that night still haunts me. Story 3. The Woman Across the Hall. In my late 20s, I moved into a small apartment building where only 6 units existed, 2 per floor. The woman across the hall gave me the tour, and though she wasn't friendly or unfriendly, her dull, expressionless demeanor was unsettling. On my first workday, she surprised me by standing outside my door, asking oddly specific questions about when I usually got home. The next morning at 6 a.m., she knocked again, inviting me to her place after work in the same flat, monotone voice. When I declined, she returned to her unit without another word. This strange routine repeated, leaving me uneasy but unsure of her intentions. One night, after returning late, I found my door already unlocked. Inside, the apartment was dark, but my bedroom door was open. To my horror, she stood inside holding a kitchen knife, her lifeless expression unchanged. I ran for the door, but it had been rigged to trap me inside. Fueled by adrenaline, I fought her off, wrestled the knife away, and restrained her until the police arrived. She managed to cut my arm in the struggle, but it wasn't serious. Her family later blamed her behavior on untreated mental illness, but that explanation didn't erase the reality of what happened.